Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you basically how to upload a package to conda-forge. So if you don't know, conda-forge is basically a place where you upload conda packages and you can install them quite easily. So if you just Google conda-forge, you will get to this page. You can see a lot of packages here. So for example, I have a few of them. Phoenix X, all these are mine. Jürgen and I, we are maintaining another one called SciFem, which is here. And the one I was planning on uploading today is a new one that Jürgen and I have been working on, which is this IO for Dolphin X, which is basically a evolution of this Adios for Dolphin X. This is actually already here, I think. Adios for... yeah. So what you will see is that this library here, for example, it has its own repository for the what's called a feedstock, and here is it's basically only one file you need to consider to think about. It's this recipe file, and this is basically how it looks. So this can of course look much more complicated, but in our case I think this is will be sufficient for the case we are looking at today. Yeah, but you can, for example, if we take a look at, for example, the SciFem feedstock, this one probably has a lot more stuff in it. There's even like a separate. So let's take a look at the recipe, for example, because this will also build like a C extension, so it's a lot more complicated. Yeah. In most cases you will only upload a package which is a Python package, for example, in which case it's kind of sufficient to only like take the tarball from either GitHub or from PyPI. I think I will actually take the one from PyPI. Okay, so basically if you go here to the docs, it will basically explain what is conda-forge maybe, and there's also instructions here on how to contribute a new package. And the way it works is that you basically make a new recipe similar to the ones here, and then you make a pull request into the stages repository, stages recipe repository. So if we go to this one, so what you would like to do is to basically fork this repo, and then you need to select kind of the owner. I already have this, so I'll just go to my own fork. Oops, that's here. I'll just sync the fork so that I have the most up-to-date branch. And then you need to basically clone this repo. I think I might already have it. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just clone this repo. And I'll call it IO for Dolphin X feedstock. Think that might not be necessary. This is basically for the feedstock, so okay, I think I might have the stage recipe here. Okay, I have the stage recipe. Okay, so let's just remove this one. IO for Dolphin X feedstock. Okay, and go to the stage recipe. Okay, some errors there, but check out master, pull latest changes. So the last commit was removed recipes something. This is the same I have here now if I do git log. Okay, so now what you do is to make a new branch IO for Dolphin-X, and then you go into this recipes, and then there's some examples here. So for example, here is one, so you can take a look at those if you want to see how this can be done. I will just make a new folder called IO for Dolphin-X. Alright, and then I will make a recipe, and I will probably just copy one that I have already. I think this one is using the tarball from GitHub as the source. I think I would like to use the PyPI one, and I have one. I think I can probably just copy this one because this is the my cardiac. Oh, this actually seems to not work. Okay, I have to check that later. But anyway, let's take a look at this one. This one basically grabs the tarball from PyPI. So if you go to PyPI, for example, if we look at IO for Dolphin-X here, then you can go to download files. You will see that there is a tarball here, and there is a wheel. So what you want to do is to grab the tarball, basically. So you want to grab the tarball. You need to figure out the SHA. So in here, if you go to view details, you'll find the SHA here, basically. So you can just copy that one. And then you need to specify how to build it. If you have some entry points, we don't have that for this library, like a command line interface. And then the requirements, and then maybe some commands to run the tests, for example. So I'll just go ahead and copy this one. Let's take a look at the example. It's called meta.yaml. Okay, so let's just make a new file called meta.yaml. Okay, let's just code to like this. So I don't need to mess up everything here. And then here, okay, code meta.yaml. And then I copy this one. Okay, so now I need to just put in all the details. Okay, so the name of the package, IO for Dolphin-X, Python minimum version. We can set the minimum version to 3.10. I think that's fine. The version we want to set is the same as the one that's on PyPI, which is 1.1.0. 1.1.0. This should be, I could probably just set the name here like that. And then we need to just pick the SHA from this one, copy this one. We don't need the entry points. It's a no arch because it's a pure Python package. So we can install it with this here. I think this is fine. Now I just need to go and check the dependencies, which is listed here. So this depends on two packages, Phoenix X Dolphin and packaging. I think it also depends on them to be honest. So let's keep that one. Packaging. We need packaging. Okay, and then so this is basically what needs to be there. And then once we have built the package, we would like to test that it actually works to import it. We can do a pip check. I don't think the pip check works. Okay, let's keep it. Pip check, and then I think we can take a look at the Adios for Dolphin X here. It also has some tests for, so tests, source files. Okay, so let's just keep that as well. Okay, add the source files. Requires pip. Okay, let's add these ones as well. Okay, don't need that one. Okay, should be fine. Oops, sorry. Something else. And then we can do these ones. Does the imports check, and then we can do the commands here. Okay. This is the same command as we had in the Adios for Dolphin X, so it's just running pytest. Just adding some more debug, and then yeah, failing if it's more than 4 failures. It's running the tests in parallel, and then it's doing the pip check. Okay. So now we need to add the about stuff. So the repository is basically this one. github.com there. For the about, just do input output for Dolphin X. If I can copy this one. Input. Let's check that the MIT, it's an MIT license. And then we have actually this one. I can just, okay, just trust. GitHub Copilot. Okay, so now the only thing I should add here is Jørgen. I think his his username is this one, so I'll just add that. I think this should be good to go. Okay. Okay, so add the meta YAML. Okay. Add IO for Dolphin X. Okay. Yeah, and now I also created a branch, right? IO for Dolphin X. So we just push this one. Like that. And then we go back to not this one. Stage recipes. Okay. Yes, and then thank you very much. Now there is like this comment here, so you see that there is like a checklist you have to go through. So let's see, title of this PR is meaningful. So you can read this. Basically says that when you're done, you should basically ping one of the teams, the relevant team. And I think in our case, this should be the Python team. So this one, help Python. And then, but we'll do that. So now let's check that the title of the PR is meaningful. We can maybe just create the pull request and we can go through the checklist afterwards. And then it will also notify us with if there is something wrong, which it might be. Okay, title of the PR is meaningful. I think that this is kind of Okay, license file is package. See here an example, so you can click here and see it, but I think the license is already tested here. The license here, which is basically the license in the repository, which is this one. Yeah, forgot to say that, but yeah. So the license is okay. Source is from PyPI, so that's the official source. That's fine. This doesn't vendor into other packages, so if you have kind of another package inside your package, you need to basically make sure that, yeah, the licenses of those packages are also included. I actually do have an example of that. So if I look at MPS, or maybe it's called cardiac MPS, yeah, this one. I think this one contains a few other packages inside it because it uses it depends on some specific versions of a package, and I didn't want it to be updated. So here you will see I actually added licenses of some other packages which are included into that package. So, and then there are a bunch of different licenses here. Okay. Okay, you see it. Linter actually complains now. So let's just see what it complains about. I found a recipe. The following may they have not yet confirmed that they are willing to be listed here. Ask them to comment on this PR if they are. Okay. Yes. So let's just ask him. Let's go back. Jørgen Este, could you please confirm that you like to be a maintainer of this package? You would like to be listed as a maintainer of this package. Comment. This is my Jørgen. Yes, this is the Jørgen. Okay, that was the one. So let's see what else it complains about. There are too few lines. There should be one empty line at the end of the file. Okay. Okay, so I'll have to add like an empty line there. Is that what it's complaining about? Alright, so now I just added a new empty line. No new line. Okay. Git diff. Okay, I'll see. Git add empty line. Push. I think I did it now. Let's see. Okay. But this is basically the flow of it. So now, once this is once everything is done, we will just check if it works, and then we will basically, okay, let's go through the other one. Package doesn't vendor any other packages. Static libraries are linked. The license of the static library is package. We don't have any static libraries. Package does not ship static libraries. No. Build number is 0. Let's just check. The build number is 0. Yes. tarball rather than the repo. Yes, we have a tarball. So that's basically this tarball here, which is from PyPI. Yes. GitHub users are listed as maintainer. Have posted a comment confirmed. Yeah. Okay, we haven't really checked that, so we can wait. When in trouble, please check the knowledge. Okay. So I'll have to wait for Jürgen to basically confirm. Yes, okay, he has confirmed. Then we can check this as well. So then we have everything checked. Okay, so this one was okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, the linter was also fine. So, and now it basically builds. So this can take some time actually, if I don't recall. If you take a look at this one, you can click here and view it on Azure Pipelines, and you can see basically that it's actually building these ones now. So let's take a look at the Linux one, for example. Now it's running the Docker build, so it's basically running the full build. So, and once you are kind of finished, you should basically ping the team. So you should basically add what's written. If you go here, click on edit, then you can click on here and you should just say conda-forge ready for review. So I should just do here console, and I should just do help Python ready for review, and then I should comment. But you should make sure that everything builds correctly first, and then you should be good to go. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any problems or if I missed anything. As I said, there are a lot of other feedstocks here, and if you wonder how basically a package is built, you can always like check out, for example, Dolphin X, which is the Phoenix Dolphin X, which is rather intricate to build. You can, for example, look at the recipe here. This one has a lot of other scripts, help scripts, and you can take a look at the recipe, and you will see basically the full build script here. So this is, yeah, it could be quite complicated, but in most cases you will just have a single PyPI, like a Python package which is on PyPI, so then it should be quite simple to build it, I think. Okay, thanks for watching.